Sophia always loved reading. From a young age, she found comfort in books. They were her escape, her joy, and her way of exploring the world. Yet, as she grew older, she began to notice something frustrating. While she loved stories and could follow their plots, there were many words she didn't understand. Sometimes she skipped over them, and other times she guessed their meanings, but deep down, Sophia wished she could understand every single word. One day, after struggling through an article filled with unfamiliar terms, she decided it was time to change. I want to improve my vocabulary, she said to herself, but how? The task seemed daunting. That's when Sophia's journey to building her vocabulary began, a journey filled with discovery, fun, and surprising lessons. Sophia realized that the first step to improving her vocabulary was to become curious about words. Instead of ignoring words she didn't know, she started paying attention to them. One afternoon, while reading her favorite novel, she stumbled upon the word serendipity. What does this mean? She wondered. Instead of skipping over it, Sophia looked it up in a dictionary. She learned that it meant finding something good without looking for it. She loved the sound of the word, and its meaning felt magical. From then on, she kept a small notebook with her while reading. Each time she found a word she didn't know, she wrote it down with its meaning. This habit made her more aware of the language around her. At first, Sophia thought using a dictionary would be boring, but it turned out to be one of her favorite tools. She downloaded a dictionary app on her phone and started using it every day. To make it more fun, she began looking up one random word each morning. She treated it like a game, challenging herself to use the new word at least 3 times during the day. For example, when she learned the word vivacious, meaning lively or full of energy, she complimented her energetic friend by saying, "You're so vivacious today." Sophia realized that one of the best ways to improve her vocabulary was through reading. She started reading a variety of materials: novels, newspapers, blogs, and even poetry. Each type of reading brought something new. Novels introduced her to beautiful descriptions and emotional language. Newspapers gave her formal and professional terms. Blogs taught her modern and conversational expressions. Poetry opened her mind to creative and symbolic words. She especially loved finding words that had a deep or emotional meaning, like melancholy, which described a feeling of gentle sadness. One mistake Sophia had made before was trying to memorize word lists. She would stare at long lists of words and meanings, but nothing would stick. This time, she decided to learn words in context. Instead of just memorizing the word oblivious, meaning unaware, she read example sentences like, "She was so focused on her book that she was oblivious to the noise around her." By seeing how the word was used in sentences, Sophia found it easier to remember. To truly make new words part of her vocabulary, Sophia knew she had to use them. She began incorporating them into her conversations. At first, it felt strange, but soon it became natural. One evening at dinner, her brother spilled water on the table. Instead of saying, "That's clumsy," Sophia smiled and said, "That was quite a blunder." Her family laughed, and Sophia felt proud for using her new word. Practicing words in real life made them stick in her memory. Improving vocabulary didn't have to be serious all the time. Sophia discovered that playing word games was both fun and educational. She started with classic games like Scrabble and Boggle, which helped her think about word structures. She also loved crossword puzzles. At first, they were difficult, but as her vocabulary grew, she found them more enjoyable. One of her favorite online games was Wordle, where she had to guess a five-letter word in 6 tries. It became her daily challenge, and she loved the excitement of figuring out the correct word. Sophia realized that words weren't just in books, they were everywhere. She started watching documentaries, TED Talks, and even TV shows with subtitles. Listening to how people used words in different situations helped her understand their meanings and pronunciations. She also began listening to podcasts about topics she loved. One podcast introduced her to the word epiphany, meaning a sudden realization. She found it so beautiful that she used it in a conversation the very next day. "I had an epiphany about how to solve the problem." To expand her vocabulary even further, Sophia started learning synonyms, words with similar meanings, and antonyms, words with opposite meanings. For example, instead of saying happy, she learned to use joyful, delighted, and ecstatic. For sad, she explored words like sorrowful and despondent. This variety made her speech and writing more colorful and expressive. Sophia understood that learning new words was only the first step. She had to review them to remember them. She created flashcards with her favorite words and tested herself weekly. Sometimes, she'd challenge herself to write short stories or poems using the new words she had learned. This not only helped her remember the words, but also sparked her creativity. There were days when Sophia felt frustrated. "Why can't I remember that word I learned yesterday?" she wondered. But she reminded herself that improving vocabulary was a journey, not a race. She stayed consistent, learning a few words every day and celebrating her progress. Over time, she noticed how much easier it was to understand books, articles, and even conversations. After months of effort, Sophia felt like a new person. She could express herself more clearly and confidently, whether she was writing an email, having a conversation, or reading a novel. One day, while helping her little sister with homework, Sophia realized how far she had come. Her sister asked her, "What does resilient mean?" Sophia smiled and explained, "It means being strong and able to recover from challenges." Her sister looked up at her with admiration. "You know so many words." What you can learn from Sophia's journey: be curious about words. Don't skip over unfamiliar words. Explore them. Use tools like dictionaries and apps. Make them your friends. Read widely. Different types of reading introduce you to a variety of words. Learn words in context. Understand how they're used in sentences. Practice regularly. Use new words in conversations, writing, and games. Have fun. Word games and creative activities make learning enjoyable. Be patient. Vocabulary growth takes time, but every small step counts. Improving vocabulary isn't just about learning words, it's about discovering the power of language. Like Sophia, you can start small and build a world of words that enriches your life every day.